Hello and welcome to Dishing with Diane. It is season 4, Dishing with Diane, a fireside chat, season 4, episode 32, I'm thinking. Anyway, welcome to the show. As you know, this is live and we take your questions and things every month. We'll have a different guest, different expert to talk about all things home. And today we're going to get into things about getting your home prepped and ready for the winter and fall season, for the fall and winter season. And also as you prepare for the holidays, just doing some things to get, if you're going to go and do things for your house, it's also a good time to start thinking about some exterior cleaning. And we're going to focus on pressure washing. We're going to talk about different tips and tricks. We're going to get into the DIY side of pressure washing. And today I have my expert guest is Mark Florio. And yes, he is my husband. We are related. But this is Mark Florio. He is the owner of Tri-Flow Pressure Cleaning. And he's going to give us some great stuff on how to get our house sparkly, shiny, nice and clean, and give us some good tips and advice. So, Mark, thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure.
All right.
Always enjoy watching, and now it's great being on this side of the camera as a guest.
Well, great. So, introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, as Diane said, I am her husband, Mark. I have been pressure washing for nearly 20 years now, specialize in all aspects of the pressure washing, commercial, new construction, and the residential, which we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, and you might hear some sounds in the background. We got the sounds of fall, right? Everybody's
Absolutely.
leaf blowing and doing, and we're out here on the patio and just live doing this show. So hopefully you hear us okay. Anyway, so yeah, thanks, Mark. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about the pressure washing business, just some things that might be overall helpful for people to understand. Why do it? What's it about? So forth.
Absolutely. Well, you'll hear different terms. You'll hear power washing, pressure cleaning. In essence, it all means the same thing. I always tell clients that it is one of the least expensive home improvements you could do on your largest investment, which is your home. We all spend so much time going to and from work to live in our wonderful homes that we want to make them look as good as possible. Okay? Now, every home usually has a few different types of surfaces. You have, whatever type of siding you have on your house. You have your concrete driveways and walkways. You have your pressure-treated wood decks. And these days you also see a little bit of composite decking, which is the synthetic material that's kind of coming to the norm lately.
All right. So pressure washing, tell us a bit about the process. And you said different terms, but some people think it's just like blasting water and chemicals and all. So tell us about the actual.
Absolutely. That's a great point. People who hear pressure and power, and as Diane said, they'll think exactly just that. You're blasting the stains off the various surfaces. Nothing could be further from the truth. While the machines do give us a good bit of power, okay, which we need to be mindful of if you're looking to do it yourself, what the pressure or power aspect of the terminology does is it allows us to get the specific cleaning solutions for each surface where they need to go. A perfect example is at the peaks of your house where there's siding and fascia and soffit and gutters, okay? The pressure from the machine allows me as the technician to deliver the specific solutions exactly where they need to go. In addition to the delivery of the cleaning solutions, it allows me to work at an efficient rate of speed when I begin to clean the various surfaces. So it's an application process and it's a rate of work process.
Cool. I like that. So yeah, so that's the the reality in it. And like I said, a lot of people have misunderstandings about what it takes to clean a home and use the pressure washing equipment, machines and things. So maybe tell us a little bit about what's involved, what kind of tools, technology and things that are involved to do a really standout job of cleaning your surface.
Sure. So you'll have any professional pressure washing technician will arrive at your home, and based on their setup, they might have their machine and hoses and reels on a trailer. They may have it in the back of a truck. or they may just have a free standing unit that they wheel around to whatever side of the house they need to be working on. Okay, the technician will likely attach his water hoses to your house. Okay, using very minimal amounts of water. It'll probably cost you about 30 cents worth of water. So don't get alarmed if you think your water bill is going to run up. And then we'll turn on the machine. Okay, the motor of the machine produces the pressure thanks to a pump. The unloader, which is another part, unloads the machine as the technician engages their gun on the hose end, and we begin the process. We begin by applying the various solutions, letting them dwell so they get a really thorough cleaning, and then we begin to gently rinse it off. A top-line technician will almost 99% of the time not have the need to get up on a ladder, so that protects not only him, but you as a homeowner. Okay? Someone is not up on a ladder engaging a gun that produces a decent amount of pressure and could create a dangerous situation. And that's why you have to weigh out, are you going to have a professional who doesn't need to get on a ladder and complete the job, or are you as a homeowner and a DIYer going to take that risk of getting up on a ladder and potentially A, of course, hurting yourself, which we never want, and B, possibly damaging a surface basically just due to a lack of experience.
Yeah, and or maybe not getting all the areas that you really need to reach too. So if you, like any job, right? Like anything, if you don't have the right tools, equipment, and materials, it's not going to be done as well. But certainly many people do their own pressure washing, understood. So we will talk about things around that, and in towards the end of the segment about, as a DIYer, what are some tips and tricks if you're going to go do it, at least help you along the way.
Absolutely.
So, people don't think about like their houses. I know you've used this analogy before, but like your house is like the surface of your skin in a way, and all the crevices and things and stuff gets in there. So pressure washing, right? Talk about why it's such a great thing to do, how often you should do it, and what it does for the longevity of your exterior of your home.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So as I talked about the various surfaces. So first I'll touch on the siding of your house. These days we see still some composite siding. You see the hardy plank and vinyl. Okay, aluminum used to be more prevalent, but that's kind of, I think, had its day, and there's not so much aluminum siding anymore. Your gutters may be aluminum. So, for example, hardy plank or your composite siding. Okay, it's a painted surface. If you took a piece of that...
Well, I'm sorry. So hardy plank is cement-based.
Yeah.
And your composite stuff is more, I don't want to say cardboard, but it's a compressed,
it's a compressed
product. So just to distinguish between those types of siding materials.
Absolutely. So, and those surfaces are painted. So if you took a piece of the siding, put it under a microscope, it would remind you of the surface of the moon. And if you picture in your mind the surface of the moon, it has all the accompanying craters and nooks and crannies where all the dirt, dust, debris, and mold begins to gather. So ideally, you need to wash all that out because it creates, just that dingy, dirty look that obviously nobody wants. Everybody wants a house to shine. Okay, so what you're doing is you're applying the appropriate solution to wash all that dirt, dust, and debris away. Also, if you're looking to paint, a very thorough paint prep is another pressure washing service. And to be honest, I've done many, many paint preps where after the house was cleaned, they decided they no longer need to paint because it looks so good again, and they're able to put off that significant investment for another year or two. Sometimes I think if I took a percentage of what I saved them in painting, I'd make more money than just washing the house and doing the wash. Okay, so that's your siding. Okay, next we'll talk about your deck. So usually, right now you're probably still seeing a high number of decks that are the pressure treated wood. Okay, now a molecule of wood, okay, looks like a honeycomb. Okay, we can all picture in our minds a beehive and a honeycomb.
Okay.
Okay. over time, because usually, obviously, a deck is a flat surface, whether it's covered or uncovered. Okay, it is getting weathered. We have all the elements doing their darndest on your deck and the pressure treated wood that it's made out of. Okay, so as the deck weathers from the rain, the sun, the cold, the heat, the foot traffic, okay, those honeycomb molecules start to break apart, and that gives it the white, weathered look. So again, choosing the proper solution, kind of, as Diane alluded to earlier, alluding to your skin, it sloughs off that surface of the dead cells on the pressure treated wood and restores the shine and also preps it for another application of sealant.
Staining or
Yep.
whatever you're going to do there.
Yes. If you'll notice, if you happen to have a covered deck or porch, notice the difference in the weathering between what is covered and the stairs, which are usually uncovered. You'll see a significant difference in the weathering cycle of those two covered versus an uncovered surface. Okay? If you'd like me to, I'll touch on the concrete.
Well, why don't you talk about composite decks?
Yeah,
first, since we're on the deck
composite
subject,
decks.
maybe.
Composite decks are kind of a blessing to homeowners and to the industry. While they don't weather as much, they do discolor. And fortunately, for both homeowners and professional pressure cleaners, all that really takes is a standard cleaning. Obviously, the composite decking already has a color that you chose, and you're basically just sloughing off the weathered surface, and it returns to its original color over time. So if you're looking to make an investment in a deck, in a new deck, or looking to add on something, while composite will be a bigger hit to your pocketbook, in the long term, it's probably an investment that will pay off.
Right, because you don't have to replace, so you won't have to keep restaining or painting and things like that. So it's that kind of longer term investment. Like
Exactly.
You said. So
Exactly.
okay, so yeah, let's talk about concrete and
Yep.
your
Yep.
flat.
Picture in your mind how wonderful concrete looks when it's first poured and cured, and how that beautiful gray or white color. Now, as you're heading home or as you're doing yard work this weekend, take a look at your driveway and your walkway. Likely you have some black stains, which is indicative of mold. Okay, just over time, from the moisture, from the leaves that are now prevalent everywhere, the driveway will obviously just begin to get dirty. Okay, mold will develop. It's inevitable. Okay, now again, using the proper solutions, like the one I have here, have a 5-gallon
Commercial
grade bucket that I just emptied this weekend doing a house patio and driveway for a client. We'll be able to clean it. Okay, not only that, a good pressure washing technician will have a special machine for the concrete that hooks up to the pressure washer machine. Picture a lawnmower, but with whirling jets of water underneath. Okay, so it allows us again to clean at an excellent rate of work and clean huge swaths of your driveway at a time. And we will get it as close to looking as new as we can. Of course, the mantra in the profession is we are technicians, not magicians. Okay, we can't make everything disappear.
I like that.
But we'll use all our knowledge, experience, and proper cleaning solutions to make it look as good as new.
All right. So those are all the surfaces, right? Pretty
Those
much
are
covered. What about brick siding? We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, brick is, fortunately, brick is a
Just like a paver patio in essence.
Same
right?
thing as a driveway or walkway.
Okay.
It's a specific cleaning solution. Okay, the old mantra is like cleans like. So we're using a sodium hypochlorite based cleaning solution for your siding, your driveways and walkways, and as well as your patios. Okay, that's a specific solution. I would not recommend using bleach, which this is the main element in bleach for your decks and pressure treated wood surfaces. That we find tends to degrade them a little more. So there's a different cleaning solution for that. And that's the difference between the DIYer
And a professional.
and a professional.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll go, we have access to contractor grade cleaning solutions. We pay for those, a good penny, just so we can do a great job. I know we'll touch on DIY, but usually the homeowner will go to a big box store, get a recommended cleaner, and it'll just be a lot of filler and perfumes, and I might not do as good a job as what I have access to.
Yeah, excellent. All right, so all your different surfaces, how it works. So I know Mark always says, I love it, he always says, the solution is the answer. I love that. It's such a great quote.
Absolutely.
Because it is. It's all about what you apply to clean and get the surfaces ready, and then using that gentle pressure once the solutions have activated and can make it easier to clean. And as he said, they have access to some different solutions than the general homeowner out there, and that makes the difference, and also makes the job a little bit more smoother and a little faster, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I know sometimes you've seen our neighbors out there trying to do their thing and trying to do it.
Yes.
So you've gone over there and
giving them tips and tricks. And over the years, I've received many, many calls from a spouse who says, "Please help us. My husband started the deck or started the house, and it's just not going well.
Yeah.
Could you come over and please fix this or rescue my husband from the doghouse?" And I'm more than happy to do that too.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah. So
sorry,
go ahead. No,
I was going to say, and if you're a DIYer, you have to weigh it out. It's you're either going to borrow or rent a machine. Okay, you're going to go pick it up. You have to return it. Okay, you got to figure out how to use it. You got to decide what kind of solutions you're using. Okay, what I could accomplish in half a day's work might take you an entire weekend. Okay, I'd rather have you at your kids' games, inside working, remotely, taking care of your your professional life, and
or being on the golf course, whatever it is,
or being on the golf course, or being away for the weekend,
That's
whatever
right.
it is, and let me knock it out for you. You'll come home, it'll be shining, and you'll be extremely happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So so how often is it recommended to, because it does extend the life of the exterior of your home, right?
It does.
I mean, if you pressure wash, how often it helps what?
I mean, in
hardscapes and your house.
In all honesty, I used to say yearly. Now, if you have certain types of siding, I would still recommend a yearly clean. Okay, I'm finding that
Such as
your composite siding, your vinyl siding, your aluminum siding. I'm finding that hardy plank tends to stay a little cleaner longer, but that's not to say you don't have other surfaces at your house that might need that yearly cleaning. Your deck might need a cleaning and a restaining. Okay, you might want to rinse off all the pollen after pollen season is done popping. Okay, your gutters will continue to stain from leaves and the asphalt particles that run off and make what we call those tiger stripes. So I would say yearly. In a perfect world, for anyone who owns a pressure washing business, we always love our annual clients. And when I talk about the different surfaces, think about it. I can offer wonderful pricing if I come out and do everything at once. If I do a package clean of a house, siding, deck, driveway, and I only have to come out one time a year, your pricing will be so much more cost efficient as a homeowner. So that's another factor to consider. Get on a regular exterior cleaning maintenance schedule, and it'll be better for your pocketbook.
Yeah, and extending the life of your products and your patios, your
paint job,
your paint jobs, things like that. It just adds to the longevity of those things, where you may not have to, it's that old, what's that old adage? An ounce of prevention
is worth a pound
of cure.
Absolutely.
In pressure washing, I think that's 100% so true. Of course, I have the privilege and advantage of having my expert husband, who is an expert technician, and we get our surfaces done on an annual basis.
Yeah.
And
Maybe twice a year.
Maybe twice a year, but definitely annually.
Yes.
And I tell you what, I mean, we've been in our home, what now? 15 years.
Yeah.
We are finally like, we need to do an exterior paint
Yeah,
job.
we need to paint. Yep.
Our patio surfaces have lasted. They look great. We get the mold and mildew, and we get the what is that? Is that mold? The green stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
What do I
mold.
know? Yeah. So the green stuff that grows in between your pavers, that's mold. We get the crud and the mildew and everything off our driveways. We keep it all clean. And it's not just for aesthetics. It really isn't. It's for the longevity of your investment. I'm all about how do you maintain the value and the investment of the biggest thing that you spend every day of your life, trying to manage, maintain. You go to work so you can have the roof over your head and also enjoy your home and your space. So as Mark said earlier, like pressure washing, it's why is it such a good not cheap.
Yeah,
I mean, it is inexpensive.
It is frankly for, depending on the size of your home, I'll call it, let's say $500 a year. You can maintain the exterior beauty of your home. And I ask people to do one thing. And we're all guilty of this. We either work from home and we're in our office, we rotate down to the kitchen, maybe throw a load of laundry in. Okay, if you're still commuting to and from the office, you open the garage, you go in, and you close the garage. Take some time to walk around the exterior of your house and be honest and tell me, does it look as good as it used to? You'd be surprised how many clients I have who have not walked the exterior of their home in a very long time. They may have a lawn service. They might, have other professionals who come out and take care of various things. No. Around their exterior. So do yourself a favor, take a really good look. And also, while I said earlier that I might save you money on painting, a good pressure clean might also expose some problem areas. You might become aware of a piece of siding that is degraded or rotted through. Okay, we'll see that. It'll show every blemish. So I tell people, be prepared. While it'll look clean and amazing, if there's an issue going on the exterior of your home, we're likely to find it. It might be a piece of loose siding that when the wind hits it properly, you don't know that it's flapping around,
right,
or maybe pulled away from the house. Mm-hmm. But pressure washing will help kind of bring some of that to light also on some occasions.
Yeah, and even the prep for the paint, while it might extend the need not to paint, it will also better prepare the paint surface. And oftentimes, and not to, some painters will pressure wash your home. They may or may not be doing it to the extent that a professional just who's focused on pressure washing might do. So when you do it really well and really right, I think it further extends the paint job itself that you're going to have done.
Absolutely.
So that's something else to think about, right? Because it's pretty costly painting the exterior, so you really want to prep it well and really have that paint adhere and get a better outcome from that project as well.
And also prepping to stain any pressure treated deck or wood surface. Again, you're sloughing off the dead surface, kind of the dead cells on top, and that'll make I recommend an oil-based stain. That'll make that adhere and just soak right in. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. And just, the only other thing I wanted, just talk about, I know, we've given some, techniques and things, but,
cleaning.
So if someone out there still wants to DIY it, which is fine, what's a few quick tips you'd say, hey, if you're going to do it, here's some things you really need to have, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Number one when it comes to DIY, and even when I do it myself, is safety, okay? If you're not experienced, please, please, please take every safety precaution out there. I would recommend eye protection, number one. Okay, I'd recommend, some of the solutions will, because they're bleach based, will stain your clothes. Okay, so wear something you don't care about. Okay, but it's safety first. Okay, again, the machine produces a tremendous amount of pressure. Okay, that pressure is forced through various tips and attachments at the end of the pressure hose. Okay, do not leave it unattended. If there are children in the neighborhood, Okay, I would recommend if you're taking a break or going to move to a different side of the house and do something else, I recommend you remove the tip that might be on there, so it's just like a strong hose, or you turn the machine off completely. Okay, we all know our children are very curious. Okay, kids in the neighborhood may be very curious. Somebody might pick it up and accidentally engage the machine, and unfortunately, we don't want anyone getting hit with a pressurized water blast. Okay, again, get the right attachments so you can stay off the ladders. Also, okay, we all hate going up there. I was just doing my gutters a week or two ago, and it's a bane of a lot of our existence. But yeah, if you could avoid a ladder, do that, and there are attachments that will allow you to do that. And then secondly, just stand back from the home, because again, while it is pressure powered water coming out of the machine, you don't want to be too close to any surface. Okay, test spotting is always a good thing. Check out a little inconspicuous test spot, see what happens. Okay, and probably the biggest DIY tip is, if you're looking to clean the deck yourself, get a pressure treated wood specific cleaner, and please either research the proper technique to clean or engage a professional. Okay, I'd be glad to offer some advice if you want to go the DIY route, but you will damage the wood if your motion isn't smooth as you're cleaning your deck, your railing, your spindles, your steps. Okay, you will literally score the wood because of the power of the machine. So again, everything's technique. Okay, but DIY, safety, safety, safety first. Okay, that's number one.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Mark. So just to recap, quick couple things, right? Understanding what the different surfaces are that need cleaning, and the most important thing is that solutions really are the answer.
Yep.
And then the extended life that it gives to your home and your property, and the enjoyment of those spaces. And if you're going to DIY it, Mark's giving you some good tips. Be safe, and appreciate your time. Anything else? How do people get in touch with you, Mark?
Yeah, just 919-201-2665, or reach out to Diane. And I know Diane also wanted to touch on a couple of kind of fall tips.
Oh yeah.
As I say, when I'm cleaning, okay, I will notice gutters that are overflowing with leaves. Okay, that's another important fall tip. Not only does it prevent your gutters from staining, but as maybe we get into the rainier season here, it'll prevent water from exiting behind the gutters and impacting your fascia and your soffit and things like that. Keep in mind, while you may go up and clean out the horizontal gutters, keep in mind the downspouts. Okay, those might likely be filled with leaves and debris also. Stick a hose down there if you can get up there, or have someone do that, or just
flush it out.
Vigorously bang on the gutters. Okay, I just saw on the news we're having a freeze warning tonight, so I think we'll be fine tonight. But as the cold weather becomes more consistent, please remember to address your outdoor hose spigots. Okay, some of us have them where we have a valve inside. Some of us, like myself, we just cover them up. I'll share my technique quickly. The water's totally off, the hose is detached. I apply a little petroleum jelly to the exterior. Okay, wrap that with a plastic bag, and then put one of those gutter covers over it, and that seems to do the job here in North Carolina over the years.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. So exactly, right? We're heading into the winter season, and so some great advice there. And the other thing too is a lot of us are getting ready for the holidays, putting up our decorations and doing things. So it may be time to refresh your exterior. So you may want to think about hiring a professional pressure washer and getting things done so your house is all nice and clean and ready for decorating and ready for your welcoming your guests if you're hosting this holiday season. So
yeah, if I take a look back historically and look at the amount of business, November to kind of early December, early on when I was in business, I was shocked, but it's historically been one of the busiest times of the year, because people are doing just as Diane said. Okay, before you put up all those beautiful decorations and welcome your family, why don't you make the house shine first?
Yeah.
Okay, the windows will look like $1 million. the house, the
Right.
drive, the walkway, and then put up those decorations, okay?
Yeah. And even though pressure washers are not window washers, but it does help
Yes.
cleanse them off. So
Yes.
we don't want to get into
Your
that
windows,
rabbit
your
hole, but
windows
yeah.
will be cleaner, yes,
Absolutely.
for sure.
So again, thank you, Mark. Thank you for your time. Thank
My
you for your
pleasure.
expertise. And thank you all for taking your time and listening to this. And I hope it's helpful as you get ready for your, fall, winter, and keep it preserving the greatest investment that you make, your home.
That's it.
All right?
And
Take
hit me
care.
up. Hit me up if you have any questions. I'll be
right.
happy to answer.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.